Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 2, Prayers by the Demigods for Lord Krishna in the home. Text 10, please repeat. Archisyanti Manushyaha Svam Sarvakama Vrata Ishwarim Dhupa Upahara Balivihi Sarvakama Vara Pradham Achishanti Manushyastvam Sarvakama Vareshwarim Dhupopahara Palivi Sarvakama Varapradham Archisyanti will worship Manushya, human society, Svam unto you, Sarvakama Varaishwarim, because you are the best of the demigods who can fulfill all material desires. Dhupa by incense, Upahara by presentations, Palibihi by different types of worship through sacrifice, Sarvakama of all material desires, Vara the blessings, Pradam one who can bestow. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder author of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Translation: By sacrifice of animals, ordinary human beings will worship you gorgeously with various paraphernalia, because you are supreme in fulfilling the material desires of everyone. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.20, Kamaistairtha jnana prapatantenya devatha. Those whose minds are distorted by material desires surrender unto demigods. Therefore, the word Manushya, meaning human being, here refers to one who does not know the actual goal of life. Such a person wants to enjoy the material world by taking birth in a highly elevated family with the benefits of education, beauty, and immense wealth, which in this material world are desirable. One who has forgotten the real aim of life may worship Goddess Durga, Maya Shakti, under various names for different purpose and in different places. As there are many holy places for the worship of Krishna, there are also many holy places in India for worship of Durga Devi or Maya Devi, who took birth as daughter of Yashoda. After cheating Kamsa, Maya Devi dispersed herself to various places, especially in Vindhyachala, to accept regular worship from ordinary men. A human being should actually be interested in understanding Atma Tattva, the truth of the Atma, the spirit soul, and Paramatma, the supreme soul. Those who are interested in Atma Tattva, worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, those who are interested in Atma Tattva, worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Kasmin Bhagavato Bhagavo Vijnati Sarvamitam Vijnatam Bhavati Mundakopanishad 1:3. However, as explained in the next verse of this chapter, those who cannot understand Atma Tattva, Apashyatam Atma Tattvam, worship Yoga Maya in her different features. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam 2:1-2 says, Shrotavyadhini Rajendra Nranam Santi Shagashasha Apashyatam Atma Tattvam Krigeshu Krihamedinam. Those persons who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society. O Emperor, those who are interested in remaining in the material world and are not interested in spiritual salvation have many duties. But for one who is interested in spiritual salvation, the only duty is to surrender fully unto Krishna. Sarvadharman parityacha mamekam shanam raja. Such a person is not interested in material enjoyment. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikas Swami Karane. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Karane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Vishtarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktabinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Archisyanti Manusyastvam Sarvakama Vareshwarim Dupo Pahara Balivi Sarvakama Varapradham. In translation, by sacrifices of animals, ordinary human beings will worship you gorgeously with various paraphernalia, because you are supreme in fulfilling the material desires of everyone. Hare Krishna. So here we continue to hear the words of Supreme Lord speaking to Yoga Maya. So previous few verses also we heard that he is giving her service, that she should transfer the Lord Shankarshan, who appears in the womb of Devaki, to Rogini, and then he is now giving his blessings that in previous verse also we saw that she will be famous because she's taken birth from Mother Yashoda. Yashoda means who spreads the fame. Yasha, one of the opulence from the Supreme Lord. So we know. So now in this verse we see that Lord is saying that you will be worshipped by common men for their material, fulfilling their material desires. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining why people worship the demigods, and people who worship the Supreme Lord, and they are interested, uh, what do I say, they are not interested in anything material. They are interested only in Atma Tattva. Srila Prabhupada makes very nice point in the end of the purport that the people, the people, the only duty to surrender fully unto Krishna, the people who worship Krishna. But others, they have many duties because Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja. That's only one duty if one performs, and he doesn't have to do anything else because that is the highest dharma. And here about particularly Durga worship, Prabhupada is speaking. Uh, there are many still we can see many people they worship different demigods. Particularly Durga worship is everywhere, almost in every village, every town. There are many temples. There is no village without Durga temple, at least in Tamil Nadu. As for my knowledge, there is not even single village without Durga temple. So this shows that naturally the living entity have a tendency to accept the authority. Someone is a higher, uh, at least in the human being. Uh, of course, even animals also, even in the forest, the king, king of the animals also is there. Uh, but at least in the human society, we see that everyone have a tendency to accept authority because when we take birth in this world, we are all in ignorance. We are not knowing anything. Everything we learn from somebody. So purpose so many times he quotes himself when he was very young. He used to go with his father uh, different place, and then all the time he used to ask, "What is this? What is this? What is this?" His father very patiently would answer. So that is normal thing. That's natural tendency to learn things from somebody, except as authority. Uh, so that is there even among the atheists, all these so-called scientists, or um, even these materialist advanced, so-called advanced people, everywhere. Everyone is accepting. But problem is uh, whom we accept as authority, whom we follow. That is very important thing. Everybody is accepting. Like when Prabhupada went to Russia, he met that famous Professor Kotowski. And he was speaking about communist idea. And then Prabhupada say that, they were kind of saying, you're just believing something, somebody accepting blindly like that. They always speak like that to the modern people. And then Prabhupada says that you also follow same philosophy like us. We accept Krishna as authority, and you accept Lenin or someone else as your authority. But our authority is supreme. He is a perfect person. Your authority is not perfect person. But the accepting authority, that up to that level, the philosophy is same. It's not that you, you know, don't believe anybody or you don't accept anybody. You also have a leaders. You also have, authority. But the problem is whom to accept. That is very important. If you accept someone like you who are having imperfect senses who commit mistake and all this sport effect. And then you also will have a same thing. You will not have perfect knowledge. You will not um, make your life perfect. So now, uh, accepting authority, the tendency is there, but whom to accept? Uh, Even atheistic people, like here we see in Tamil Nadu, uh, there is one political party uh, who accepted one person whose name was Ramaswamy Nayakar. Mm, Now, most of the people won't know when you say his name because they call him Periyar because he fought against the caste system, about women liberation and all these things. And these people also accept him blindly, actually. Uh, Why I say blindly? Because uh, they accepted him as a leader because he was against the dharma, the law which is established by the Lord, uh, and he fought against it. Of course, there were few brahmanas who misused their position and they, mistreated some people, and it's not denied. But doesn't mean that all Brahminical system or all the Varnashrama system, everything should be, condemned, you know, completely rejected. That's not the intelligent idea because that is a system which has, you know, protected this holy, this Punya Bhumi, the Bharata Bhumi to be united for thousands of years. The Brahmanas who preserve the knowledge, uh, because of them is all this so many years after thousands of years is still the people living together. They have some respect for elders and so many good things. They follow, even though they don't read anymore the Vedic literature. They don't hear from authority, but still it's very strong because of the Brahmanas. They study the Vedas, they preserve the knowledge, and they were, teaching to the people. And if you completely reject them, completely go against them, then completely mess. And today, what we see, whole country, whole state is against the Brahminic culture. All the politicians, as soon as you say Brahmana, immediately they hate. So the result is even Brahmins, they don't want to accept as themselves as a Brahmins because it's so insulted, so badly treated them, and they don't want to even show. If they go to some other city, like they are in Salem, they cannot hide because everybody knows, they're from Brahmin family. But if they go to Chennai, they don't have to reveal themselves as a Brahmin. I heard some of them, they were even ready to remove the Brahmin thread. They don't want to show as Brahmins because it's not respected. So the result is the society goes down, it's degraded by accepting such a useless leader. And he fought this Periyar, he fought against, the people who are, they thought that particularly Hinduism, they completely controlling the women. They don't want to allow them to come out, and they don't want to take up their career and succeed in their life. You know, so they were so much speaking about women liberation. And what is the result? Today, so many women are coming out and working, and they're, you know, earning money, and but the result is they're not happy. most of the this so-called, you know, feministic idea, following people who are following this feministic idea, women liberation, and they are the most miserable ladies. Is completely blindly following. You can see the people are they're more suffering than before, and still they're pushing to, follow that, and they are pushing others to follow their path. But actually, uh, it's completely blind follow. So, but we are not like that. When they blame us that we are, religious people are blind followers. They are blind followers. But actually, we are not. When we follow seriously, sincerely, so the proper authority, and we become happy. And practically, we see our society showing to others. We are, even though we don't, you know, aspire to earn money, these, that, going for material thing. Even if we live simple life, we are happy by chanting Hare Krishna. So, which is, by the result, Palayana Parichyate, you can, decide which is blind following, which is real following. So, same thing, this demigod worship also, we see that so many people in India still they worship different demigods, uh, particularly Durga. But the result is the people who worship demigods, they more and more develop material desire, because the material world, everybody is there to try to enjoy. For that purpose only they have come here. And when they get one enjoyment from the demigods, and then they look for something else, something else, something else, they never satisfied, because by the senses, Jivatma never satisfied by pleasing the senses. So, uh, the result is people more and more they entangle in this material world. Uh, so there is one related to this one nice incident in the life of Narottama Das Thakur. Uh, how they, by preaching proper Krishna conscious knowledge, they changed the two young Brahmanas into Vaishnava who are completely absorbed in the worship of Durga, uh, Shakta worship, and they changed. So the incident uh, goes like that, that one day Narottama Das Thakur and Sri Ramchandra Kaviraj, both of them were going to take bath in the Padmavati river. And there were two young Brahmin boys. They were herding so many goats and sheep. And so when this Narottama Das Thakur and Ramchandra Kaviraj, they saw these two Brahmin boys herding goats and sheep, and they started to speak to them. They were asking, how is uh, your duty to, succeed your goal of life, how is going on, and all the different questions they ask, and then they, respond to their question, and later, after some time talking, these two Brahmin boys, they were so much attracted to these Narottama Das Thakur and Ramchandra Kaviraj, because they're really pure souls, and so attractive, and so knowledgeable and very nicely speaking, and they're so attractive. And then uh, this Narottama Das Thakur also asked them, who are you? Introduce yourself. What is your name? You're from where? And then these two boys, they say that we come from the Goyasa Grama, and we are sons of Sivananda Acharya. He's a zamindar, and our name is Harinama and Ramakrishna. The two of them, they introduce themselves, and then they say that in our house Durga Puja is going on. So for that, to sacrifice, we, taking all these goats and sheep. So then, seeing this situation, Narottama Das Thakur and Sri Ramchandra Kaviraj, they preached to them. And they notice also these Brahmin boys are very humble, and they were very eagerly hearing whatever they were preaching. And then uh, they preached the truth of Bhagavata. Uh, they explained uh, how in the Vedas the karma kanda is offered, and by performing the karma kanda, one remains in the mode of lower modes in rajagun and tamagun, and their mind become contaminated, and in that way they become they slowly they go to hell, like that Narottama Das Thakur explains. And then also they uh, more detail they explain, they preach to them. And then this hearing from Narottama Das Thakur and Sri Ramachandra Kaviraj, the two Brahmin boys, they completely uh, happy, and they fell down their feet, and they asked them to bless, please guide us how to uh, go further. So then Narottam Das Thakur and Ramchandra Kara, they accepted them. Then they blessed, may you attain Krishna Bhakti, like that. And then uh, still they went with Narottam Das Thakur and Ramchandra Kara, these both boys, and they came to the temple of Mahaprabhu's temple, and then again there they preached to them, and then uh, they completely changed. They took bath, and then they started Vaishnava Tilak and Shika, and all these things. In the meantime, this Sivananda Acharya, the father of these two Brahmin boys, he was searching for them, for him, because they went for a long time back, and they expected they did not come because they went with Narottam Das Thakur. And then later, uh, after a long time, these two boys came with all this Vaishnava appearance, a friend of this Shivananda Acharya, and he becomes so angry. As soon as he saw the two sons, they changed. Uh, so I can say that Father say, "Oh fools! Where does it say in the Shastra that position of Vaishnava is greater than the position of Brahmana? Or that becoming a Vaishnava one is better than the Brahmana? You have neglected Durga for so long, but your life is useless without Durga." So like that, he started to speak about their Durga worship, and he started to convince them come back to the Durga worship. But these two boys, because they were so seriously heard from Narottama Das Thakur and Sri Ramchandra Kaviraj, and they respond to his father. They say that the religion or right work which causes violence to others and ends only in misery cannot properly be called religion or proper activity. Rather, it must be called irreligious and wrong activity. So because they are, sacrificing so many animals and the name of religion, so they are explaining it's not religious at all. Uh, So, a father giving up worship of Shalagram Narayana, why you have established the worship of Durga Devi and other demigods, giving careful thought to the conclusions surrounding the performance of Sri Narayana Bhajana, we should understand the worship of Shiva and Durga to be useless waste of time. So they, preached to his father, and then his father, Shivananda Pandit, he thought, oh, now if some very, you know, intelligent, some very, let's say, very good Pandit, if comes, um, he can defeat this. So then he bringing one great Pandit uh, from Mithila named Murari, and he wanted to, you know, argue and defeat these two boys with by this Pandit. And then they also, uh, I mean, these two Brahmin boys, they also started to argue with this Pandit. And then after hearing all this argument and their preaching, the Smarta, the Pandit also completely kept quiet. He couldn't respond to their arguments. So in that way, uh, in that night, the father of these two boys, Shivananda Acharya, he meditated on Durga and then he went to sleep. And then Durga appeared in his dream. And Durga says that, "O Shivananda, Sri Hari is the master of everyone. Those whom he covers with ignorance, truth to my worship. And I assure the destruction of those who worship me. Those who are not Krishna minded or demons, on the other hand, those who are dear devotees of Krishna are really dear to me. For your own sake, if you want to become free from the offenses you have committed and attain auspiciousness, you had better to go you had better to go Narottam Das Thakur and beg forgiveness from his lotus feet. Otherwise, I will destroy you, you offended of Vaishnavas. After speaking these words, the uh, Durga disappeared. Then, later Shivananda Acharya also, followed her instructions. So from this incident, we understand that Durga herself is happy that if someone is worshipping Krishna. Because many times, practically when we preach to people, the demigod worship is not necessary. You just take up chanting Hare Krishna and, practice Krishna conscious. Uh, that's enough. And people are becoming afraid. Oh, so many years, so many lifetimes, we follow this Shiva worship, Durga worship, this, that, we are pujaris of this temple, that temple, and so many times we hear from people, they get scared. Oh, what will happen? Whether these demigods, they will uh, get offended, they will be, curse us or something, they are afraid of it. But actually, this problem is only with the common people in here only. It's not that demigods, they don't understand who is supreme. Demigods, because they are much higher position, they are very clear. Of course, sometimes we hear the Indra bewildered, Brahma also bewildered. But it's not that every day demigods are fighting their, for the supremacy. Uh, but people here, because they are in ignorance, they are in lower modes, uh, and they don't read Shastra, they don't hear from the proper authority, and they don't understand. They accept who is proper authority. They fight for who is supreme. Uh, Most of the time, they just because they don't hear from anybody proper authority, so they fight for it. But here, very clearly, we understand that the Supreme Lord is Krishna, and everyone else is his servants. That is very clearly stated in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and many other scriptures, especially Bhagavad Gita. There are so many shlokas, Mata Parataram Nanyat, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. Like that, you can go on so many shlokas you can quote. And also, we see that demigod worship is Krishna very clearly, very openly explains that demigod worship is for less intelligent people, people who don't know who is the supreme. And then for them, this process is there. Prabhupada also quotes from 720 from Bhagavad Gita, Kama Isthaita Krida Jnana. And after that, next three shlokas, all four shlokas from 720 to 23, all four verses, very clearly Krishna explained this demigod worship is for less intelligent people because they are material desire. Uh, they go to the demigods, they surrender to demigods. But even if they worship demigods, their faith is, is given by me to worship the demigods. Yesterday we had evening this Yo Yo Yam Yam Tanu Bhakta Shloka. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that even their followers, the demigods, like if somebody worship Durga, the Durga cannot give the faith to their followers to worship them. So Krishna is giving the faith because Krishna says they are my vibhutis. They are because of that I am as a Paramatma in everyone's heart. I give faith to worship them, and not only that. After worshipping, the result, what they get, the benefit, that also given by me. It's not by them because they are not independent. They are dependent. So, and then antavat phalam tesham tadbhavat alpamedasam. Again, Krishna says, the less intelligent or small intelligent people, antavat phalam tesham alpamedasam. They worship demigods. What is to get temporary things, because the demigods themselves are not, in the eternal position. They themselves in the temporary place. They themselves in the material world. So they cannot give. And we know that Hiranyakashipu or Ravana, when he worshipped Brahma and he asked for eternal life. And what was Brahma's response? Though Brahma is really have a very long life, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam, about Brahma's life when we hear, uh, is such a long duration he has, but still he's not eternally, you know, living here. So he cannot give the eternal life. So the point is, the people who are not knowing about the who is supreme and who are not having the proper knowledge of the supreme, and for them this demigod worship may help, but mostly, especially now in Kali Yuga, more advancing people are not having any knowledge about this, even the karma kanda or these things. Even the priests who are doing all these pujas and they don't really follow. They are all money minded, become, completely they just for money's sake, they're ready to do any puja, any kind of yajna, you know. So it won't purify them at all. They may get some benefit, something, but mostly they develop more and more material desire, and then even some extent they become even sinful, and then they just, as Narottama Das Thakur said, they will just go to hell. So therefore, it's very important to understand that who is supreme. The supreme Lord is Krishna, and He is the only uh, the Lord. It's not there is many gods, as generally people think. The Hindu, oh, we have many gods. We can choose whomever we want. It's not many gods. Brahma may come, Tvitiyam Nasti. It's very clear. It's only one God. So that is Krishna. Krishna himself is explained, and in this Narottam Das Thakur Leela, we see that Durga herself is saying that Supreme Lord is Krishna, and then Brahma is saying, Lord Shiva is saying, all these are all great authorities to say who is supreme. And their followers, unfortunately, they don't hear those things. So they just go on worshipping them. So in India now, of course, in the Western world, it may not so much, related to this topic, but in India still is a lot of this demigod worship is there. So much is increasing also more and more because more people are materialistic. They want material things. So we have a lot of work to preach, uh, to establish against the demigod worship, against Mayavad. Preaching is very, very, uh, very much needed, uh, especially in India. And Prabhupada is very proudly saying, I'm only person who is preaching against Mayavad and demigod worship. It's not all the God are same. So many times people just come to even, some of these interviews and conversation, if you see that people just, as soon as they say all gods are same, and Prabhupada just smash them. You know, not all gods are same. So Krishna is the only supreme, and is Krishna himself is established that, and then all the acharyas are accepted, all the demigods are accepted, and then what else needed? All the Shastras says that Krishna is supreme. So better, accept Acharyas, Shastras, and the demigods' statement themselves. They say Krishna is supreme. In Bhagavatam itself, we hear several places Lord Shiva's prayers to the Supreme Lord, Brahma's prayers are there, Indra's prayers are there. So, and we have to accept it. should not, having sometimes the devotees in the nearby state, they are completely kind of um, not fully convinced that Krishna is supreme. Uh, they, or in the name of preaching, sometimes we see they go uh, mingle with Mayavadis or other demigod worshippers, and then name of preaching like bridge preaching or this that. Uh, Actually, it shows when they go mingle with them, it shows their faith is not strong. They are in the name of preaching. They just go the other side instead of bringing them to Krishna conscious. So we have to be very careful. If we have a material desire, uh, if we cultivate material desire, then slowly in the name of preaching, we may accumulate slowly some things, and then mingle with them in the name of preaching, then slowly completely fall into Maya. So we have to be very careful. This sometimes in the name of Yukta Vairagya, uh, try to use more and more material things. Uh, I want this, I want that, I want this, so many things. Without this, I cannot practice Krishna consciousness. Like now, almost every devotee have smartphones, all of us. Yeah. But actually, so far, so many years, without that, we all practice Krishna consciousness, and so many devotees, practice. Now, mostly, we all think without that it's not possible, Krishna consciousness. Very few devotees, seriously, they just use only for the service purpose. But many devotees, like our Guru Maharaj gave a class in Dubai recently, last time when he went, about this. Somebody asked, speak about these reels and shorts. So, reels means people who use Instagram, they know, and shorts means they know who use the Facebook and YouTube. So it's short videos, 15 minutes, 15 seconds or 30 seconds, short video clips. Even though it's very short clips, but people waste their time hours and hours. So in that lecture, in the end, question answer time, there are one after another, two, three devotees, when they ask question, and you see from their question, and they themselves admit that they are addicted to that. Oh, yes, Maharaj, but sometimes because we see that because some Krishna conscious reels or some Krishna conscious shorts are coming, and so we thought is Krishna conscious, but one Krishna conscious reel you see, then 10, completely other reels. It's not all the time you get Krishna conscious reels. So the point is that why I'm saying that because we thought we are hearing lecture, even if we don't go to temple, we can hear from the temple, from the house, working place, traveling time, we can all the time, we can hear the lecture. We think like that. Yes, we may use it in the beginning like that, but if you are not careful, if you are not, you know, serious in Krishna consciousness, if we have material desire, then it may drag you to all kind of things to see, hear, and then completely fall into Maya. So this is a very important thing that this because it's like a demigod worship. Why they go because of material desire? So developing material desire any means, whether it is because of demigod worship or using all these devices and in the name of Yukta Vairagya or any means, developing material desire is not going to help us to advance in Krishna consciousness. So that's the point I want to say. So we have to be very careful, and we have to preach ourselves, you know, and to others very strongly again about this, against the demigod worship, against developing material desires, and then there is hope if we seriously preach and follow, and then there's hope by the blessings of devotees and acharyas. We may get purified one day. Otherwise, it's very difficult in this Kali Yuga, very difficult to uh, remain in Krishna consciousness without, you know, devotees association, regular hearing, regular chanting, reading, uh, without our strict sadhana. Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comment? Yes.
It just reminded me of one incident some years back in Chennai. We were having this weekly satsang program in the houses. So there was one Mataji used to come regularly, very short span of time. She started chanting 16 rounds and like that. And we were, oh, very nice. She so quickly she was picking up. We were discussing like that. And then one devotee said that, oh, I regularly see her on Saturdays and Thursdays or something like that. She goes to the Durga temple. She does puja there. So then one devotee asked her, so what is that, Mataji? You are going to Durga temple and like that. Then she said that, Prabhuji, for spiritual progress, I
Yeah.
worship Krishna. But for material progress, I worship Durga. This was an understanding that, how can I ask Krishna for material things? I just, Sarva Kama Varapradhan. I was just thinking about that. That they have the conception that that we have to worship Durga. She's been a worshipper of Durga for years, so she
Yeah.
did not have sufficient hearing. Just and
Yeah. They want to travel two tracks simultaneously, but it's impossible. You can't travel in two boats simultaneously. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।